That would have been a perfect opportunity for the.
Oh, I mean, I could always just pause it and you can go. Yeah, so I went and saw Halloween Ends, and like as you guys know, with the last one, Mr. J was murdered. Holy crap, guys! I don't know what just happened there. I was talking about how Michael Myers, like, they kind of, it's called Halloween Kills, and Michael Myers never dies. I somehow, I went to the hospital and got stitches and stuff like that, but you hear something.
He's lying. I'm alive.
Or is he?
I didn't make no pact with the devil, and my mama didn't do some kind of voodoo magic or whatever. Besides, if they actually really watch these videos, then they'll know that I didn't die because,
But those were pre-recorded film.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, because we get to go see movies before anybody else, so we recorded all those movies. I forgot my sticky thing.
Oh no.
So, but who did get killed?
Freddy?
I was gonna say the third wheel.
Yes, it was. They had to kill Michael Myers.
Again.
Spoilers if you haven't. Oh no, this time he was more than. He was like, let's see, had a fridge dropped on him, 2 knives jabbed in his hands, his throat slit.
He committed suicide.
Right. Oh, right. And then it was followed by him committing suicide by slicing one wrist.
And his throat.
Well, yeah, but I was.
I don't know how I feel about this. I liked it. I mean, I felt like it took a long time to get going. There was a lot of misdirection. It made you think, because you mentioned it, like, I bet you Corey becomes Michael Myers.
Well, that's what I kept thinking.
And that's what they made it seem like he got possessed.
Well, I don't know. I won't really know possessed, but one of the things where basically maybe he would end up killing off Michael, and then he would take up the mantle, so to speak, and that'd be like the one way they could keep doing the movies. And I thought, now if they do that, you're gonna have like I said, I'm not a hardcore horror fan, but I know a bit about the more major players.
Yeah, I mean, like they okay. So, just kind of like a quick summary, I guess. So the movie starts out taking place in 2019.
No. Well, yeah.
2019. Right. Corey is like a babysitter. The whole gym is a baby. It was kind of like replaying the whole, but like reversing it.
Well, basically, from my understanding, it sounded like basically he was like the guy who mowed the lawns or whatever, and since their babysitter called in sick, it had been like a year after Michael Myers had disappeared.
Yep.
And then he watched this kid who's not supposed to watch a horror movie, which they were watching The Thing.
Yep.
I've never seen it, but I know
it's okay.
I've seen enough of it to where I know that that's what the movie was. So the kid decides to go hide from him, and so Corey, the guy starts getting freaked out, and he shuts him in the attic. He starts freaking out even more, and he kicks the door. The kid's right behind the door. Door hits the kid. Kid falls over a railing and splat.
Splat and goes flat on the ground.
Basically, I think the first part was like, what would you call it, a quadrilogy or a quad?
Yeah, well, this is well, no, did they? Well, maybe it's Halloween 2.
Halloween 2 was the one where they said Laurie was his sister, and I heard, I could be wrong, but I believe I remember hearing that even John Carpenter didn't like that idea, but the studio stepped in and said, no, we want this to happen. I mean,
yeah.
I could be wrong.
Okay, so anyways, yeah, so it might be just Halloween then. So basically, in the original Halloween,
it's 78, 2018.
She's a babysitter, and no, I got this wrong. This little kid in a clown costume just kills people. Just kills his sister. Kills his older sister and the babysitter.
No, and the boyfriend.
Oh, and the boyfriend, right? Oh yeah, she was the babysitter. She was babysitting.
Yeah.
Kid gets taken into the asylum. 20 years go by, and Laura's character is babysitting, and Michael returns, and movie ends with the cop shooting him in the chest, and he gets knocked over the balcony, and when he comes up to the balcony to look down, Michael's gone, and that's how the movie ends, right? It's been a while since I've seen the new Halloween, so I don't remember how that went, but it basically ended with them burning Michael or trying to burn him alive.
Yeah, basically same thing. They kind of recap it in this movie a little bit, where basically there's these two, I don't know if they're podcasters or what they were, but they were trying to get like a rise out of him. They show him chained up in the yard with a bunch of other like inmates.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
He's like chained there, and there's like a little square where he can't move. But,
yeah, and then
they taunt him with his mask, and basically he ends up getting put on a bus for one reason or another. I mean, story. And then the bus crashes. He escapes.
Yep.
And basically goes back to Haddonfield to keep doing to kill the podcaster because he gets the mask back from him. And,
right.
And
then the second one basically just picks up right after the first one, and this is why I'm saying this is why. And I know this particular trilogy of Halloween only follows the first Halloween, ignoring everything that happened after that, or at least, it ignores everything, and a lot of people like, you're saying, well, this is canon. Now, well, I mean, it's his canon. Another director can come in and just completely, do something different, which is kind of how Halloween's been. Like, you have Halloween H2O, they basically make Michael Myers a supernatural character throughout the franchise. This franchise humanized him where they could kill him, more or less, and kill him. Now I was waiting for the and just having standing somewhere. Nope, motherfucker ain't dead. I mean, they grinded his ass.
Oh yeah.
They're like
hear the bone snap
they grinded his ass in one of those steel or like at a junkyard.
Junkyard. Yeah.
I mean, it. I guess it was satisfying. To an extent.
Let me put it this way: they killed him. They made it, didn't make him go out like a pussy type thing, where But it's one of those where it was a satisfying ending to this.
Yeah. And the only nitpick, maybe a continuity error that I have to just watch Halloween Kills again. I'm pretty sure they shot that motherfucker in the point blank in the head, and he was on the ground dead, and then he just popped up and he slaughtered half the town.
Well,
and then he went off, and then he killed Laura's daughter, and everything. And then the movie ended with a stare off between the houses.
Oh no! Remember, Laura was in the hospital. And she's
Laura was in the hospital, but
she had the phone. She could hear him breathing like Michael, and
Yeah, and then I thought this movie was going to pick up right after that, but it went 4 years later. So this
somewhere that it took, they were going to move it up 4 years.
Yeah, so this movie took place in 2024 then.
Because
or 2023, sorry.
Because I think she said it's 4 years later, but 2019 was the year after. So basically, the town made Corey the new Michael Myers.
Right. Yeah, and that's what kind of they were alluded to, and I think he snapped. What's weird though is that Michael grabbed him.
Well, because you kept looking, they kept showing the eyes. So I think that's what, again, I think Laurie had alluded to in the movie, where you can see it in his eyes.
Yeah,
Michael saw that instinct, the killer instinct, if you will, in his eyes, and he said, bro, you're good. I'm gonna let you go.
Yeah.
And I think,
and there's even a hint that he was controlling Michael at some point.
Because it looked like Michael for at that time was kind of weak until they brought in the cop that kind of followed him in there and he was show me how to do it. And I think once Michael started stabbing him, he was getting revitalized.
Yeah, I was kind of feeling like Michael needed that kid to re-energize. It's weird because he was down there for 4 years, I guess, and then the homeless person was knew he was down there and was I'm Michael Myers. So it's one of those things that it's it left a huge question, because obviously they ended it with Michael Myers being killable, so it made him somewhat human.
And of course, Corey can't continue on. The name is
snapped his neck.
Well, he actually stabbed himself in the throat.
Well, yeah, he tried to.
It's one of those things where I do wonder, would forensics be able to tell if someone actually stabbed them that way, or if it was self-inflicted?
Depends on the angle, again, I guess. Leave a comment if you know.
I'm curious about that, but yeah, no. Then Michael decided, you know what, buddy, you did enough.
Yeah, and like we were kind of talking about before we started recording, that maybe he was good with him being an apprentice, because obviously they pulled Michael's, you didn't see a full shot of his face, but you could tell that.
I think kind of towards the end
you did, but you could see that he was an old man. Well, that he was probably the same. He was probably in the 80s, same age as Tommy Lee Curtis's character is supposed to be. Did I say Jamie Lee Curtis? Jamie Lee Curtis's character is. age-wise, which is like in the late 80s or something, I would say.
Hold on.
Well, no, because
No,
like
I'm actually-
because Halloween took place in
How old
1977.
is Jamie Lee Curtis?
Well, I'm not saying her age. I'm saying her character's age.
She's actually 63.
Yeah, I'm saying her character's age though, because you have to remember the movie took place in 79. No, 77.
Yeah, but she'd be about, if your sister's still in high school, they never said she was a senior now, so we'll figure 17, 18.
Yeah.
And,
well, I'm saying in Michael's terms, Michael was a full-grown adult.
Yeah, Michael
he was at least in his, like,
mid-20s.
He was mid-20s, because it was 19...
So, yeah, Michael probably been closer to 80, yeah.
So, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Michael was probably around 80-ish and everything like that, and...
Well, hold on. No, wait, because it's... Okay, so...
No, when did... Wait. No, it was 1977 when he was a kid. So he was at least 8, wasn't he?
So basically, okay, so 28. So yeah, he'd been actually about 68, almost 70. But
Well, considering how much wounds he had taken and stuff like that, and his mental health, he probably.
Well, actually, I believe there was a cut scene where he spoke with the Emperor, and he said, "Good, let the hate flow through you."
Yeah. So, yeah. What was that? Did you hear something?
That's just some guy back there with a hockey mask on.
Oh, it's not as bad as that guy over there, like with his claws in the mirror, going, "Come here, go to sleep, go to sleep." Oh no, it's Voldemort. Never mind.
Yeah, and there's also
Heavy.
There's also the weird ass.
Oh, and then there's like a creepy like android doll over there.
Oh, that fucking movie! That was like a freaky, and we're gonna see it. Was it Megan?
Megan, yeah.
That's on the list. So like, there's gonna be no more polls.
We're just gonna go see what we want to see.
Yeah, fuck
we
you,
can go.
fucking people like, oh, go see this movie.
Nope.
No.
Nope. I love that was the best one. So what did you guys see this week? Nope. Yeah. Well, fine. Don't tell me then, motherfucker.
It's just like that one day. Everybody else was going to see that Tom Cruise movie. Guess what?
Nope.
We fucking saw the bad guys.
That was a better movie. Yeah. So I honestly, Halloween Ends.
Yeah, I'll give it a 4.
Give it a 3, just because like. I mean, see that's not fair because horror films don't scare the shit out of me, and I'm okay. So I'm gonna give it some points for the misdirection with Corey. Because like you were saying, I really thought they were gonna make him the new Michael Myers, and make Michael Myers not a person, but like a force, like an entity, like kind of like on the Batman. He's like, it's not who's underneath the mask, it's what I do. So it's like anybody can be Batman.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what I thought they were going with until he stabbed himself in the face, and that was like 5 minutes before you had leaned over and said, and his prediction real quick was like that. What was it, Corey?
That Michael. Yeah, I was going to say Jason. Michael.
Jesus.
That Corey was going to go after Laurie.
Yep. Well,
since basically that's what his plan was anyway. But Michael was going to take offense to that because like Laurie was his kill, and so
kill him,
and then
try to kill, and then whether or not he kills. Yeah. But no, he was like.
So
well, first I thought when he was like.
Technically, I was somewhat sort of right because Michael Myers did end up killing him.
Well, yeah.
Because he snapped his neck.
Yeah, I mean, at one point when he was like, if I can't have her, nobody can. I thought he was going to get up and go chase after her ass. But he was like, yoink.
Because he heard it coming, and basically he knew that her would.
I think it's a good idea. We have a PSA or whatever you would call it, for public service announcement here. If someone
don't go chasing waterfalls.
Don't go chasing waterfalls. If somebody comes after you, and you get into an altercation, they have like a weapon on them, and they kill themselves with a knife.
Yeah, don't
pull the fucking knife out.
And
that creates indication that I stabbed them. Just don't do it.
Yeah,
just walk away.
Even if forensics are like, yeah, no, that's not possible. There's no way she could have,
Well, not even that, because then your fingerprints are on the goddamn knife. Don't do it.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyways, just wanted to point that out because I noticed that trope in a lot of movies. They do that.
I'm sure there's some YouTube videos about about I've seen things you see in the movies that aren't real, like basically like doing CPR is not won't get the heart just started stuff like that.
Oh right. So yeah, like I said, I give it a little bit of a harsher, like just because Didn't scare me. It took a little bit too long for me for them really to get to Michael Myers. I get that they kind of had to build story up with Corey. I don't know about you. I didn't really care about his character. I didn't really care as much.
Well, it's one of those things where you kind of it's like a tragic accident where this guy's freaking out.
Yeah, it was a tragedy, but it just
basically it showed like this whole town turned on him.
Yeah, well, because of like you said, they needed a new Michael Myers because Michael had disappeared.
And so they wanted to make him the new
the new boogeyman. So I mean, I think maybe if his character had been established in the last one with that event happening, and then he had just been incarcerated.
I'm going flat out said that would have been a little bit too much for that movie.
Oh, the last one? Well, I mean, obviously the last one would have been maybe rewritten, but then again, considering that the movie started right after the first one, I mean, it's kind of hard to include that too.
I do believe it's just that the Halloween 2018 and Halloween Kills takes place on the same night.
They're the same night, yeah, the same night.
So basically, they had to show it the next year. The radio, the DJ going.
Well, I guess the reason why I'm giving it a 3 out of 5 is because I feel like the other two were superior because they were more fast paced. It was more. Well, I think this one was slow.
I think they kind of get the build up to where, Michael Goss or this guy they go take on the mantle.
I mean,
Michael.
The thing is that this movie it's like a double-edged sword because this movie reminds me a lot of the first Halloween. The first Halloween's very slow, very intense, very suspenseful. This movie is very slow in pacing, but not suspenseful at all. And too many jump scares.
For Halloween this year, don't go as Michael Myers. Go as the dude with the bed sheet. Go as Michael Myers with the bed sheet on and the glass.
I was gonna say go with the guy with the ice cream mask on.
The ice cream, the scarecrow mask.
Oh, scarecrow mask. Yeah, it looked like an ice cream cone to me.
Wow.
I'm
sure.
Oh, that was weird. Mr. J, where'd you? Nope. 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 Fucking keys at. What the fuck? Sorry. Nope. Don't know what that is. Mr. Michael, what did you think of the movie? I mean, okay. You didn't like it. Okay. He died at the end. Sorry about that. I mean, at least you're eating good. Oh!